In this video, I'll be animating a stickman punch in 1 second and 1 hour. But here's the catch. I'll be using both sticknodes and flipaclip to make this animation. I opened up my sticknodes and got ready for the first attempt. Alright, I have my default stickman here. Say hi everybody. It's almost impossible to animate anything in 1 second, but I have a trick up my sleeve. I'll add one single copy frame of the default stickman and move one of the frames. It should create some sort of movement. Alright, here goes the 1 second attempt. Okay, so for the 1 second attempt, I was only able to move one limb of the stickman. The animation looks like a punch though, doesn't it? For the 10 seconds attempt, I'll be using flipaclip to animate this. Hopefully I come up with something good in 10 seconds. I created a new project on flipaclip and immediately got to work. Alright, for the 10 second attempt, a simple 1 second animation should be enough, considering I have to draw the stickman unlike in sticknodes where I just move it. Here goes the 10 second attempt. It took me almost 5 seconds to draw the first frame. I just drew a simple punch in the second frame, drew heads, and my time was up. Alright, the animation is done. What do you guys think? Does it look good for a 10-second animation? Personally, I think this is the best I can come up with in such a short time. Bro's better than Michael Jackson with those moves. For the 1 minute, I can't decide what to use. Flipaclip or sticknodes. I guess I'll just spin a wheel for this one. Alright, the wheel has decided. Let's flipaclip this stick. First, I'll add two layers, one for a simple line background and the other to animate the stickman on it. I'll draw a line background first on the layer beneath. I used the ruler tool to do this. I'll just copy and paste the background a few times, then animate on it. On the layer above it, I'll get to work animating the punch. First, I'll draw a stickman at the rest pose, then animate him throw a simple punch. Hopefully a minute is enough to do it, right? Yeah, I checked the time and saw that I had spent around 30 seconds on the background and the first frame of the punch animation. I'm definitely cooked and can't finish this animation in time. I'll try though. With less than 20 seconds left, I rushed to finish up the animation. Overall, I only succeeded in drawing 3 frames and a line background. I doubt I can even add heads to the animation at this pace. Alright, my time's up. I'll just finish up this 3rd frame and call it a day. Well, there goes the timer. My time's up. Tell me what you think, guys. Did I do good for an animation that took just a minute? It's a fast punch animated on 16 frames per second. Personally, I'll rate it a good 5/10. I think I somewhat cooked. 10 minutes is decent time. I'm determined to go hard on this one. If you've watched my previous video, you'll know that I just started out with sticknodes, so to get myself more used to the tools, I'll be animating the 10 minutes punch on sticknode. If you've been watching my channel and know anything about my videos, it's that I'm a winger, so most of the times I don't plan my animations, I just animate. So for this punch, I have no idea on how it should look like, but still, I'm going to cook. I'll let him take the first action stance, then I'll just try to animate keyframes first, then add tweens later. During the animation, I had some short pauses. During the pause, I started visualizing how I want the punch to turn out. After taking about 1 minute to think, I continued with my keyframing. I wanted the stickman to throw an uppercut punch. It should be simple, but I had only 7 minutes to pull this off, so I was panicking. I had already spent the first 3 minutes on just 2 frames. I know I'm supposed to add backgrounds to the animation, but I don't even know if I have enough time to finish the animation. I'll try regardless. After the uppercut punch, I want the stickman to slowly ease out and go into a rest stance. With only 5 minutes left, finishing the animation was starting to look impossible. Lucky for me, I had learned how to use the tween tool to add in-betweens in my animations, so I should be able to pull this off. After about 6 minutes of animating, I played the animation to test it out and check for smoothness and errors. Okay, looks decent. Time to add some in-betweens to ease the motion of the stickman. Enjoy the short time lapse. While animating, I noticed the animation looked sort of slow, so I adjusted the frame rate to my personal preference of 24 frames per second. After that, I copied some frames to add a little delay to the animation and to adjust timing. Okay, the animation is looking good. Now I'll take the 2 minutes left to make him ease into the rest stance. I used the tween tool to make this process easier. Ralph really made sticknodes comfortable for animators. Alright, enough yapping. Enjoy the short time-lapse process. Okay, now it looks like the animation is ready. I checked my time and saw that I still have around 1 minute left, so I decided to adjust some frames. I added in-betweens, adjusted some frames, and when the animation looked finished in the last few seconds of my time, I exported the project, edited it, and this was the result. Tell me what you rate the 10-minute punch animation in the comments section below. For the 1-hour attempt, you already know I'm about to lock in. I plan to animate a Sakuga-type punch in flipaclip, and yes, of course, I'll include backgrounds in this one. For the 1-hour attempt, I'll add a red opponent. The black stickman is going to land a super punch on him. I'll be using an already drawn background from Ibis Paint, so I would have enough time for the animation. He raises up his hands here to charge up before throwing the punch. I'll just add some smear frames for when he drops his hands. The next cut is a close-up of him gathering momentum for the swing. I was animating at a decent speed because I had only taken up about 10 minutes around this time. In this scene, the camera pans even closer as the stickman swings his arm. And in the final cut, he lands the punch on the red stickman. After about 20 minutes, I was done with the basic animation. Next thing I did was to add heads to the stickman. Adding heads took me only about 4 minutes. I had enough time to work on this animation because I was animating at a decent speed. After I added the head to the animation, I went on to animate lightning effect to the black stickman's punch. Then the next thing I did was to animate the red stickman getting his guts slapped. I saw my time and it looked like I was right on track. I felt like I had more than enough time, so I decided to slip in impact frame effects to the punch animation too. I estimated about 10 to 15 minutes for animating the impact frames. Enjoy the short impact frames time lapse. Well, I guess I was off with my estimation. It took about 17 minutes to finish the impact frames, almost 20 whole minutes. After I finished with the impact frames, I went back to add lightning effect to the punch properly. Adding in the lightning effect should take around 5 minutes. I plan to use the remaining 10 to 12 minutes to add the backgrounds and dust effect to the animation, plus some other minor details I might have missed out on. I just noticed I forgot to add heads to the red stickman when he got punched. After adding heads, I animated some whoosh effects, then went straight to animating the dust effect as the red stickman got yeeted across the screen. Animating dust would be the last part of the animation. Immediately after, I'll add the backgrounds and call it a day. Hopefully, I'm able to finish up in time. Enjoy the little dust animation time-lapse. Also, here's a cookie for making it this far into the video. The background was previously drawn in Ibis Paint, so all I had to do was import it into the animation and add it in frame by frame. I was able to finish this up in around 2 minutes. Finally, this was the result. Not my best animation, but that's the little I was able to cook up in 1 hour. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the channel for more. See you next time.